What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic CM. It's episode number 61. We start today's stuff with two of our youth players coming to us and saying they're unsettled and they want pro deals. They are Darlington Shehu, a young Nigerian centre-half, and also Albie Hudson, who looks really good with 85 to 91 potential as a goalkeeper. He is an exciting prospect, Albie. We've got so many goalkeepers here, man, it's ludicrous. I can't get rid of one of them as well due to a glitch, the Estonian Hein. Just can't sell him, but he is out of contract at the end of the season, so we should go, touch wood, on a free transfer. And as for Darlington, he shows great potential. He's pretty decent, very tall indeed, 6'5" with 84 strength already, just 61 overall, low high work rates, you know, I love that. He looks very decent indeed with a showing great potential tab. What I will say is this, as we're about to do a scouting update and a full academy update as well. You know, I mentioned before, in this year's FIFA, I've struggled quite a bit with youth players. Cork to Glory is the only save where, you know, we've had multiple of them, and the main reason why is because we started off as a half a star team, the worst side in the game. So of course, naturally, when a player comes out of the academy with very little squad depth as well, they're going to get a lot of game time to maximise their potential. And I do feel as though sometimes, like, if you are managing a big team, I don't know if you guys agree with me on this or not, and feel free to let me know in the comments section what you think of this, but I think when you're managing a big team, you should be able to, when you're doing your scouting, sort of automatically reject players of a specific overall or potential range. You should have the option to be able to filter them out, because obviously, you know, the better the scout you have, the better quality of youth player you're likely to pick up from the scouting report. It doesn't always work that way, but of course it mostly does. So I totally get that. But when you're managing a big team, if you get players with, like, again, like a, I don't know, like a 40 to 66 potential range, the fact is, they're not going to make it, obviously, if you're managing like a 4.5 star to a 5-star team. And yes, I know due to dynamic potential, they can improve the potential over the course of many years, as we saw in our Cork to Glory save. Barry Sharkey and Leo Yates famously started off with no potential tag at all, and of course ended up becoming great potential to be special type players. But when you're managing a big team, they're never going to get chances when their overalls and their potential ranges are so low. And I really feel as though if you are managing a big team, the likelihood is, just like in real football, in realism terms, as we're talking here, their scouts are going to be much better at determining whether a player, or a youth player I should say, has any chance whatsoever of making it into the first team at some point in the future, as we drew the first game here, goalless against Manchester United, as our title dreams continue to slip away from us game by game. So I really feel as though that's something you should be able to do in future versions of FIFA. You know, if you are managing a big team, be able to automatically set your scouts to say, listen, if they're starting off with this low of a potential range or this low of an overall, you know, don't show me them. Don't put them in the scout report, because I'm just going to reject them straight off the bat, because it takes a long time, you know, you scouting. That's why I speed the clips up as we're going through. And I just think in general, again, that will probably be, first of all, a time saver, but also realistically should see you get a higher quality of youth player on average in your scout reports, because again, I think sometimes players come out of the academy and their overalls are so low, and whilst their potentials could be quite good, you know, we're managing Arsenal right now, you know, we're a 5-star team, the vast majority of our players are in the mid-80s for overall. If a player comes out of the academy and, you know, he looks alright, but he's like, you know, 57 overall or 61 overall, chances are he's not going to get much game time whatsoever. So I think at some points, you know, it'd be better for, you know, for scouts to be able to say, okay, this player only is like 58 overall, that's not high enough. Maybe 60 overall could be like a minimum you set, and then every other player that he would ordinarily put in the report doesn't get shown, because you're not going to give him a pro deal regardless. And it's just something I was thinking about recently, because again, youth scouting does take a while, and it is why I speed the clips up as well, because it takes so long to go through them all. But yeah, just something I was thinking about. The bigger the team you get, the higher chance you have of finding better youth players with higher starting overalls to give them more of a chance of getting involved in the first team, but also being able to auto-filter out players of a certain potential range or overall, which is far too low based on where your team currently is. right now. Anyway, on the back of the win against Southampton there, as you can see heading into this one of the biggest games of the series so far since we joined the Gunners. Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium right now, leading the way in the race for the Premier League. They're 11 points clear of us in the table right now with 7 games to go, but this is a game in hand which we currently have on the Reds. So if we were to win this, we could cut it to 8 and still have the game in hand and really put the pressure on in the final few games. So taking on Klopp's side here as they're desperate to reclaim their title after so many years in this save of Manchester City dominance. They had the first chance of the game through Virgil van Dijk, but 36 minutes in we get ourselves in front, and I keep on saying it. You know, this guy's not been as good as last year. Absolute nonsense. He's just been as good as last year. Emil Smith-Rowe gives us the lead and puts us in front, makes it 1-0 right before the break. And again, any chance of us getting back in this title race hinged on us winning this game and not just drawing it. So at half-time, leading by 1, I was feeling confident, but we know how good these guys are. I mentioned it in the very last episode. I feel like Man City and Liverpool in the Premier League right now are just a notch above us. So I knew in the second half they'd come out with more intensity, play a much more aggressive and assertive play style. Diogo Jota gave them their leveler, made it 1-1 just after the restart, and there were 10 minutes to go. The Italian Marco Verratti makes it 2-1, and Jota in this game, I've struggled against him before. He was just absolutely brilliant. Scored the first, set up the second, as Liverpool complete the turnaround. The scars raised in the away end, and that would do it. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2, and I love the fitting question I was given in the post-match interview as well. You know, obviously I show the interviews like every 3 or 4 games just because, you know, I think, you know, it's a feature which, you know, isn't really, you know, too important. I suppose you can skip them all you like. Doesn't really mean too much, though of course it can impact on morale. But I thought that question was really fitting there. Do you have to accept that a better team right now? Got asked the same question against our loss to Man City as well. And yeah, I think right now again we're just not quite there yet. That result there is huge for Liverpool. They are now clear front runners to win the title, and I'd say now with 6 games to go, it's over. Like, we are not going to catch up now. We're 14 points behind. Yes, we still have the game in hand, but it's over now. There's no way we're catching Liverpool. Really started to falter in the second half of the season, and coincidentally, we started to go into poor form when Reece Nelson went down with the ACL. So, following game, we would indeed take on Leicester here at the King Power, of course, not to mount the FA Cup quarter-finals, now taking them on in the Premier League. We won't give up, of course. We'll push and press all the way. We know now, realistically, the best we can do is top 4. Got to make sure we don't lose our discipline and lose out on Champions League football altogether. So, Brendan Rodgers' side away, King Power Stadium, took the lead through Harvey Barnes' second goal against Leicester since joining them in the summer. You got to love it, and what a goal it was then in the second half. Luis Suarez got goal number 20 to give us a 2-goal lead, and whilst we won't win the title now, that's for sure, Suarez does look very likely to win the Golden Boot. 2 of the final score there, big 3 points, and again, the most important thing now is we don't drop out of the top 4. Chelsea are breathing down our necks in 4th place right now as we're still in 3rd, but also Spurs as well, looking very competitive indeed. Top 4 is not a guarantee, and based on how much we've been faltering in the recent weeks as well, every single game now in the Premier League, just because we lost our chance to win the title, still has major importance. So heading into our final game today's episode here, West Brom, 19th place away at the Hawthorns here. They needed to win this game if they were to get any chance whatsoever of staying in the Premier League for the following season, and they took the lead 17 minutes into the game as well, got themselves to shock advantage, made it 1-0. Although directly from kickoff, we would level it. Bukayo Saka making it 1-1 and putting us back on level terms. I've mentioned before as well, I love kickoff goals where you don't surrender possession once. It's so cool, you know, and you held onto the ball for every single second of play before getting yourself another goal as well. But West Brom in this game looks so good when going forward. It made it 2-1, 27 minutes in. I was thinking, my goodness gracious me, these guys are struggling so badly. But as Harper makes it 2-1 here, I can't defend. I can't defend against the side right now in the bottom 3. Goodness, man, there is a genuine chance we might throw away a top 4 place at this rate. But once again, just like Bukayo Saka's goal, it was a kickoff goal where we didn't surrender possession once. They're so cool to score where you get so many players involved as well. 2-1, Suarez will go on number 21, and it's now 2-2 as the Colombian puts us back on level terms for the second straight time in the game. But in the second half, after a frenetic first half an hour, the game kind of died down. We got one golden chance with 20 minutes to go, but Gabriel Martinelli fired wide from a 1-on-1 as some somehow missed the target. As we were still dead up to 2-2 in the final minute of normal time, I was thinking, goodness, we are choking, we are bottling like crazy, we're going to miss out on Champions League football at this rate, along with the title. But in the stoppage time, just seconds away from stoppage time, he missed the chance, 20 minutes to go, doesn't miss this one. Gabriel Martinelli gets it right at the second time ask, and you see the celebrations here, and the limbs in the away end as well. Absolutely massive moment as Martinelli comes good with seconds on the clock. 3 to the final score, a big escape there against the Baggies, and that now does mean we go 9 points clear of Spurs as opposed to 7 with 4 games to go. So huge win there. The title has gone, the treble dreams have gone, but at least top 4 does look very likely. But that was this episode of the Realistic CM, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you hadn't, please drop a like. Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic CM featuring the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea at Wembley very soon.